All right, so tonight is training call number 2 in our Shako Fest series. We're doing 4 calls, a 4-part series here. And Kari Kinsey is consistently our PV top earner, personal volume earner, which means that she has a solid retention in in customer orders with Shakeology and some other things too, but I know the foundation is Shakeology. She does a fantastic job about teaching the public on why it's important to drink this awesome shake. And it's not just about diet, weight loss, whatever, because she comes from a completely different background with that, with understanding food and why she got into it. And she's also a Star Diamond coach. She's consistently a top recruiter, and she's just has an incredible background in nutrition and health, and is a wonderful teacher. So I'm super excited to hear how she has been able to rise up and be one of the top PV earners and Success Club earners, not just on our team on Fierce Fit, but also on Team Motivate, which is my uplines team that has, I think, 5,500 coaches or something. Kari's consistently the tippy top. And so it's pretty exciting that we have somebody that's that incredible on our team. So I'm going to mute out. Make sure you take notes and ask smart questions in the chat, and I'm sure she'll get to them at the end.
Oh my gosh, Emma. Someone that tippity top who shows up 5 minutes late because she thinks it's the wrong time, and I'm just really super
Oh, I forgot to tell you that she's also a human and has a crazy life and isn't perfect. I forgot to say that.
Okay. Whew, I'm glad you made that clear because I was a little nervous. So, okay, well, you guys, thanks for hopping on. I did want to, before I jumped into my little presentation, Emma kind of, I guess, talks about me a little bit, but the reason I actually became a coach forever ago, I became a coach in 2000. What was that? I think it was like 2012. I signed up to be a coach, and the only reason I signed up was because of Shakeology. And I told Emma straight up, I said, like, I have zero interest in coaching. I'm not into selling stuff. Like, I just wanted a discount on Shakeology because I was super impressed with it. And so my background, I'm now like a health food nut, but the reason I got into it in the first place is I was diagnosed with something called PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. And basically I was gaining a bunch of weight and just like feeling really insecure. I was a teenager, and my doctor told me all these bad things that were going to happen to me. Like, I was going to have all these diseases and sicknesses, and I was going to be fat and have acne and hair loss and never be able to have babies. And I literally thought my life was over. And he told me in that doctor's office, I was literally sitting there crying, like sobbing, like, oh my gosh, I'm like 17 years old. And he told me, he said, there's no cure for PCOS, but there are ways that you can make the symptoms better. You can even make some of them non-existent, and it's by diet and exercise. And so that kind of stuck with me. And I figured, okay, I need to go on a diet and I need to exercise. So that's kind of how I started in this whole world of diet and exercise. Is I did all the bad ways first, where I went on diets and I ate nothing but cabbage soup and drank some fast. And I did the Atkins. I did all of it. I did pills, prescription pills for my doctors. Like, I did all of it because I thought I was doing it right. I thought I was doing diet and exercise. That didn't work so great for me. Nothing ever stuck. The diets would work short term. You all know how it goes. And so then I started really diving into actually learning about nutrition. And so I read several books. I actually just grabbed it off my bookshelf about superfoods. I have 2 books that I got about superfoods, and it just goes into all these details about all these foods and how powerful they are and what they can do when you incorporate superfoods into your body. And I was just started to turn into this superfood girl. Like, I'd go to Whole Foods and load up my cart, and then I'd see how much it cost, and I'd put all of them back except for 2. And it was just that's what I started trying to do. And it was Emma who showed me Shakeology, and I was like, holy cow, all that stuff is in that one shake. It's so much cheaper. I was on board from the first time I saw it. There was no convincing needed, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is so cheap. This is so much cheaper than when I was spending at Whole Foods and all the powders trying to get the same stuff. And so I have been. Go ahead.
Because this is something that happened last night. I was talking to Austin's mom, who also is really into food, and she knows all the ingredients of Shakeology, recognize them and knows what they are. And I'm like, okay. But she saw it and thought it was such a great deal as well. wow, this is all in here. So what would you say, because I think sometimes people can get intimidated if they're talking to a super foodie like you. And so what advice would you give to coaches that maybe don't have the knowledge base that you have, and they're like, I don't want to say present it to her because she already eats healthy?
I think that's exactly it. Before I did feel confident in that, I would go to people and I say, I know you're super healthy. And so I think you would appreciate, like, do you recognize any of these ingredients? Tell me what you think about them, type thing. And I would just say, I know you're an expert on this, so I would love to hear what do you think about spirulina? What do you think about goji berries? And just kind of say, these are on the shake I'm drinking. What do you think about these ingredients? So I did kind of, I don't know if that helps, but I don't think we have to present ourselves as experts. Like if you're going to somebody, I remember when I first started, I was in Hawaii and there was a girl I was a friend with who was super into health and nutrition. And that's exactly what I did. I said, I'm just starting to get into this. I know you're super into it. And she stayed on Shakeology for years and she loved it. And so anyways, but yes, what was I saying? I totally forgot. I'm sure I can. Oh, but anyway, so Shakeology, I like it. I guess that's the point, is that's why I became a coach. And so I've always just loved talking about it because I really do believe in, and I think I'm also a teacher. I was a teacher before I was a coach. And so I'm kind of a nerd in like education, like go educate yourself. If you're not excited about Shakeology, go learn more about it. And I can guarantee by the time you read a book all about superfoods, you're going to feel excited, like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Food is powerful. It could change your life. And you're going to feel excited and it's going to be natural. It's just like what Chanel, sharing all that stuff last week, I felt excited, and I know I'm kind of a nerd, but hopefully I think that's the more you educate yourself about this, you're going to feel more excited and it's going to be a lot easier to talk about. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into my presentation. And it is sharing about Shakeology. And like I said, for me, it's always kind of come naturally because I've always been passionate and I've loved it. So I want to kind of share a few examples of how I do that on social media and how I also do it in my challenge groups, because I think it's so important, not just that once they buy it, then you stop. So I do have a PowerPoint presentation. Let me do a screen share with you. Oh wait, I think I have to pull it up first, and then I think I have to do a screen share. Let's see. Okay, can you guys see this? Yeah? Okay. Oops. Okay. Whoops. What's going on? All right, here we go. So before I jump into this, I actually wanted to show, this is a document in your Coach Online office. It's called 3 Steps to Share Shakeology Guide. If you guys have not looked at this, I think it's fantastic. It basically just goes through like describing how you feel when you have poor nutrition, good nutrition, share your experience, your favorite recipes, what it does for you, benefits of it, has different tools on there. I'm not going to go into this because this is something you could print off. But then it also kind of goes over what Chanel talked about last week is it's more than just a shake. It has these awesome things. She touched on phytonutrients and all those things that it's clinically proven to do, different benefits, good yeses, nos, important tips to help you. So this is, just so you know, this is in your Coach Online office and a great tool for you and for your new coaches to feel comfortable about Shakeology. So I wanted to start off with sharing on social media. And I will say, well, I have a bunch of examples and they're all for me. And it's not because I think I'm amazing. It's because I didn't make the time to go through a bunch of other coaches' stuff. Like I just used what I already had. So I will preface by saying that. But I think from what I've heard from other coaches and from my own personal experience, I think it's safe to say these are all don'ts. When you're talking about Shakeology, things you don't want to do. So the first one, you guys know this, you do not want to brand Shakeology, you want to brand yourself. So don't brand Shakeology instead of yourself. Make sure that it's you you're talking about and not the shake. And that's just how it is as being a coach. You're not Beachbody, you are you, and that's just part of who you are, right? Be unoriginal. I think we all fall guilty of the just holding the shake up by our face and smiling or kissing it or things like that where it's just scrolling, right? Being unoriginal. Making claims that Shakeology can heal, treat, cure diseases or medical conditions. Okay, you can obviously share your own personal experiences. And I do that with people. Like I say, it's helped me, with whatever and whatever. It's helped this customer with migraines, but it's not like, so it's like it might be able to help, but it's not. Don't make it like a doctrine thing, okay? Don't refer to it, Chanel talked about this last week, as a protein shake, a weight loss shake. It really is so much more than that. And I think when we refer to it as that, people are going to think protein shake, this protein powder is so much cheaper, weight loss shake, my Slim Fast is way cheaper, or whatever. And so we got to make sure we're not branding it as that, because it's not that. And we don't want people to compare, you know, apples to bananas or whatever. Don't try and be a scientist or a doctor, and don't be salesy, and going along with that no curiosity factor. So do share your personal experience, tell stories. Everybody loves stories. You guys have heard it 1,000 times, but facts tell, stories sell. Stories are what get people, they can relate to that. And so people love to hear stories. And so stories all the time with Shakeology. Do show your personality. So you guys will find when I show you some of my examples, I'm a teacher and I am a nerd, like I'm a health nerd, and I get excited about this stuff. So I tend to teach a lot because that's me, that's my personality. And that might not be your personality. So make sure you're showing your personality of who you are, because those are the people who are going to be drawn to you. Okay. Do share testimonials from clients. I think those can be really powerful. Do share about its amazing ingredients and benefits. There's so much we can do with just that alone. That's like months worth of posting, right? Do create curiosity. That's kind of the big thing Beachbody's been touching on. Shalene Johnson talked about it at Summit, is creating curiosity, and curiosity marketing is really powerful right now. Do be creative and unique. It's okay to do something even if you didn't see Melanie Mitro do it. Like, it's okay to just be you and be unique. And even if it's maybe different or weird, it's okay. Be creative, be unique, be yourself. Do make it look delicious, scroll stopping, and do mention the 30-day money-back guarantee when you're talking to people. I think that could be really powerful. So I am going to show you guys a few examples. Like I said, they're my posts, and they're just the ones I've done. Like, I could just find on my Facebook real quick, and it's not because I think I'm amazing or awesome. It's just, that's just what I have. So,
you are amazing and awesome, just so you know. So don't
no. Well, I know I am.
Right.
Thank you. But I mean, there are so many other examples. I just did not want to take the time to go scroll through a bunch of coaches' pages. So this is a really easy way to share that I try to do this every Wednesday. I do a what I ate Wednesday, and I just throw in my Shakeology in there. So here you could say, all I said is vegan strawberry Shakeology. Even a better way that I've been doing more recently, this was obviously a while ago, is just call it my superfood shake. And not even mentioning Shakeology, and that's creating more of that curiosity. And I did add 4 servings of fruits and veggies, boom, plus extra greens, So that's, and then I always try to add a little bit of value in there. So people are seeing what I eat. They also, you know, to clarify, I don't count my calories. The most important thing for me is nutrients, because I'm not trying to lose weight, be healthy, blah, blah, blah. Would you eat this? Ask me a question at the end. So another thing that I post about is objections that I get from people. And so an objection that recently I had been getting from a lot of people is about shakes, and how I don't need a shake to lose weight. And so I did a whole post about that. You know, this is real talk. I drink my Shakeology every single day, and I truly love it. But do I think you have to drink a shake to get healthy or get some results? No, I don't. I love Beachbody. I love Shakeology. But I'm also a certified personal trainer, blah, blah, blah. Oops. So I basically said, like, I know there's a lot of ways to get healthy. Like, I know. I'm not saying you have to have a shake to get healthy. But do I think something like Shakeology can make it easier? Yes. Yes, I do. I truly do. I talk to hundreds of women. Their top excuses are they don't have time to prepare healthy food. Eating food is too overwhelming. I totally get it. I had the same thoughts. Nutrition is the number one most important thing, blah, blah, blah. You guys can read this. But basically, it was an objection I got several times in that month. And so I did just a whole post about, you don't need a shake. You can get healthy without the shake, but it's going to make your life a lot easier. Like it just will. And then so friends, this concludes today's edition of Why I Drink the Shake Every Day. For me, it's making healthy and staying healthy so much easier. So, you know, just kind of appealing to those other moms who maybe feel that overwhelming or whatever, and also addressing concerns. So that's something to think about. What concerns do you get about Shakeology a lot? Make a post about it. It's the same with coaching. When we hear, you know, people are concerned about what objections they get from coaching, we do a post about it. The same thing could go Shakeology. This is just another one where, you know, trying to show something different. My little guy is super mad at me because I won't make him his own shake. And I said, you know, even though someone today thinks I'm super mean mommy, the fact he's begging for these crazy healthy foods, kind of makes me laugh and want to high five myself. Mom win. And so I was kind of creating curiosity and showing, other ways to get kids to eat healthy. This one, I just talked about sleeping horrible, and I gave some tips on those days. Here's what I do on those days when I need my energy up, because heaven knows I need it with my 3 crazies. So just adding value to people, drinking lemon water, drinking, whatever. And then I threw in there, eating foods like chia seeds, maca root, spirulina, flax seeds, goji berries, greens, raw cacao. Those all are awesome energy boosters. Just threw in there that you can get all those in Shakeology. These things change my day from sleepy, groggy, cranky to energetic and happy. You don't need the coffee or energy drinks. There are healthier options. So even when I'm trying to, I throw in things about Shakeology, I still try to add value, add tips. And I think sometimes people get tired of seeing just stuff about Shakeology, but they'll read something like this and still get value out of it, if that makes sense. But it's getting that in their head of constantly seeing, like, okay, Shakeology has chia seeds, maca root, spirulina, flax seeds, goji berries, greens, raw cacao, like, okay, all that stuff's in one shake. If I would have seen that, like, that would have been something that appealed to me. So that's why, like, I wrote something like that, obviously, because I'm into that kind of stuff. And so my people, that interests them also. This is when I had just read this big article about prebiotics. So I just talked about prebiotics, and then at the end threw in there, if you're drinking your Shakeology, you're getting your prebiotics with yacon root, pea, chicory root, pair it with a plate of raw onions, and you're good to go. But just talking about prebiotics. So I just picked one of the things out of Shakeology and shared about it. And I actually was just reading about prebiotics anyways. This wasn't meant to necessarily start off as a Shakeology post, but I can't help but throwing that stuff in there when it's like, this isn't a shake. It makes it so easy when it's right there. So I just sometimes will throw that in, but it's not necessarily a post about that, and people can still get value out of it even if they don't drink Shakeology. And so that's kind of how I like to share, is teaching and educating. And even if people never drink it, they're still getting value, but it's also planting that seed of, this can make it really easy to get those prebiotics. This one I talked about adaptogens. I had just gone to my a holistic doctor. My cortisol levels were high, and so I talked about adaptogens. And this one got a lot of. I put in here, and I'll show you guys in a second. An application. This one got a ton of people. They loved this and how it can help with stress. A lot of moms feel stress. And so I talked about just adaptogens and lowering stress. And a lot of people asked for a sample after this one. So this one I talk about a story. I tell a story about how I've always struggled with acne, and nutrition had changed that. And so I talk about different foods that help with your, with your skin, and how, most of us are too busy to focus on getting these to our daily diet. So it's pretty awesome. Like, I could get it in one shake type thing. So I was telling a story, talking about the benefits. This one, I don't mention Shakeology, just talking about getting all of this stuff. Phytonutrients, substitute prebiotics, blah, blah, blah. Without any artificial strong, tastes like a creamy, dreamy milkshake. Fine. If it's just my, I won't drink it. Creating curiosity. This one, my busy mamas get this one. My signature look, wet hair, breakfast on the go, running late. But blah, blah, blah. And I chugged 70 superfoods, so I'm still waiting. So those are just like random samples that I can find of just different ways to share about Shakeology, where you're not just saying, this is my shake and it's awesome and I like it, and whatever, but different things you can share in different ways. Now, I will say I share about Shakeology at least once a week on my social media page. I know some people do it less. That's what I do. I do at least once a week, sometimes more, depending, how I'm feeling or whatever. But I do it every week, because I think that that's something that's helped me a lot. Getting people approach me about Shakeology because I talk about it enough, and they know what it is when we talk about joining a boot camp. I don't have to explain Shakeology as much, because they have been following along and learning about it as they go. So that's what I choose to, that's what I do. I always have the goal to get a sample in their hands. And I know different coaches do different things, but I have had a lot of success. If I could get somebody to try Shakeology, then like 85% of the time they'll purchase it. And so I am a big fan of doing the samples. Now, this is the way I do it. Is I have a Google form, and I'll show you guys that in just a second, that I have them fill out a survey. And like I said, I'll show you that in a second, but it kind of talks about what interests them. And then that way I can show them how Shakeology would solve their problems, obviously. When I send it to them, I include a pamphlet with it. You can get these in your Coach Online office. There's not very expensive at all, but they have great information explaining the foods and kind of what they do for you. They also have some of the clinical study stuff in there. I include a recipe with it. I always save these little Shakeology things that come in the boxes, and we'll send those with them. Or I'll just write my own recipe. And then I include a handwritten note, and then of course following up and showing how it'll solve that problem. So this is the link that I use. So I created a Google Drive. I just turned it into a bit.ly link. It's just bit.ly, I want to try Shakeology. So it's something really easy for me to remember when I'm out and about talking to people. I can write it down for them, or just, type it in their phone right then and they can sign up for it. And I'm actually gonna click on this real quick and show you guys what that looks like. Oops, I might have to stop sharing actually. Hold on. Let me see. I'll pull up this other one. Maybe. Oops. I just clicked on something. Oh, here it is. Okay. Here we go. Oh no, that's back to my PowerPoint. Oh my gosh, I'm a disaster. Okay. Okay, so this is my form. So I just have them put their email address. If you guys don't know how to create Google form, it's super easy. Email address, their name, have you ever tried Shakeology, what mostly interests you about trying it. This takes them literally 5 seconds to fill out, and they can mark more than one. Do you currently have a coach? If so, who? What flavor would you like to try? Submit. And then on my end, I can go through. And so what I'll do with this form is sometimes I will just put it in the comments section when I do a post about Shakeology, and I'll say, because I know y'all are gonna ask, and I'll put that in there, or just something really casual. Sometimes I'll put it at the end of a post I did about it and just say, like, if you're dying to see why I am so obsessed with this stuff, like, and I'll put it on there or something like that. I don't put on every post, but I try to put it out there once a month. I don't want to do every post, but I do, like I said, I do try to put that out there. So what's cool about it is then I can have their responses. So when I need to follow up with people, like, I have all their name, their email addresses, their names, and I have all of like their information of what they want. And then it's really easy to email them and make it very personalized and say, let's see, the individual. So like saying I know it would really help you with your digestion regularity and blah, 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 whatever. I could help them solve that problem and explaining how it would help them with that, if that makes sense. So let's go back to my presentation. So that is something that I've had a lot of success with. Like I said, I have a high success rate. If I could get Shakeology in somebody's hands, almost always they will end up buying a 30-day supply of it. And so that is something like I said, I try to put that link out there once a month so people have that. So another way that I will talk about Shakeology with my customers is I created I am like a teacher. I'm total type A. I love organization and forms, if you can't tell. But I created another one for my Inside Out Bootcamp. It's bit.ly Inside Out Transformation. The bootcamp I run is, I'm going to pull up this one too real quick and show you guys what it looks like. Actually, you know what? I don't need to show you guys. It's not that big of a deal. So, shoot. Can you guys see did I exit the screen share? I did, didn't I? Okay.
No, you exited the screen share.
I'm sorry.
Now we're back in.
Now you're back in. Okay. So basically, I have a form like the one I showed you, but it's for my boot camp. So it asks questions, a lot more questions about their nutrition, about what they're struggling with. And then what I do is I create a form. I create I call a custom recommendation form for them. And so I go over what their goals are. And this is a PDF I send to them, what their biggest obstacles and challenges are, their motivation, inspiration, other things that are important. And then I put their recommendations in there. And so I always put in there supplements Shakeology. And down here, 30 servings of Shakeology, I put a video in there about Shakeology also. And then in the notes, I always talk a lot about Shakeology will help you so much with blah, blah, blah. Now, this girl I happened to just talk to yesterday. She was the receptionist at the dentist office. And so I had already talked to her a lot about Shakeology. So I didn't include that much information in this recommendation. But usually in this notes form, I will talk a lot about, according to the application they filled out, how Shakeology would help them solve that problem. And so I feel like when it comes to people joining my bootcamp, it's never a question of if I should get Shakeology or not. Like, it is expected. I tell them right here how Shakeology will solve their problems, and they want it at that point. And so I think sharing on the social media, but also, you know, they're already familiar with it, but then I'm also talking about it in this recommendation. It's a huge part of what's going to be their success. And so that's something that has helped me a lot. Like, I send people, like I just sent out two of this link to 2 people before this call who were interested in my boot camp. And I said, you know what, I would love to tell more. Fill out this quick application and we'll talk and see if it's a good fit. I send them back this recommendation form, and Shakeology is already on there. We had never talked about it before, but now they're being introduced to it. They're seeing how awesome it is, and they're seeing how much it'll help them. So I don't know if that could be like a whole different call for a different time, but so that's kind of what I want to share about sharing in your social media. And I think that's something you kind of have to figure out. I think that paper at the beginning will help you figuring out your story with it, how it's helped you, your benefits, your passion about it, how to share it, and doing it your way. So hopefully that kind of gave you a few ideas. But sharing in your challenge groups. Sorry, I'm trying to talk fast because I tend to talk way too much. Let's see. So first thing is I show them how to make it so it doesn't taste like the yard, because let's be honest, like if you make it wrong, sometimes it's disgusting. So I always put in there a video. It's super cute of my little kids. They're showing how to make it. And in the video, I talk about how to make it and what things you can add to it. I also post the blog. The Shakeology blog has so many recipes, so I post that right off the bat too, of different recipes that they can look at, so they know that they don't have to just go plain Jane. Oops. So I also think it's really important to explain to your customers what might happen to them once they start drinking Shakeology. So this is something I always put on day 5 because that's usually sometimes how long it takes for people to start noticing whatever. So I put FYI about Shakeology, know that you've been using it for 5 days. Some people may experience initial digestive distress such as constipation, bloating, gas when they begin drinking Shakeology. The prebiotics, probiotics, fiber, and digestive enzymes in Shakeology can contribute to mild digestive distress, meaning more trips to the bathroom. If you ever experience this, it is normal. Your system is being cleaned out to reclaim the healthy microflora. It has so much healthy stuff that sometimes it can take your body a bit to adjust to it all. Most people experience such symptoms, find that lessen within a week or 2 of starting. If it isn't comfortable, I suggest reducing your dosage to half a scoop once a day. Slowly build up to half a scoop twice a day as your tolerance increases. You may then work up to 1 full scoop per day. And then I just say, when I first started, I noticed my digestion, I noticed more energy, blah, blah, blah. Now that I've been drinking it for 3 years, I've noticed this. The reason I love it is because of this. So I say, you know, if it isn't sitting well right now, don't quit. It might just take a few more days for your body to adjust. So I think it's important because sometimes people freak out like, this is not sitting well with me. So I let them know this is normal and you're going to experience amazing benefits, but sometimes it takes a little bit. And this is why it's happening, because your body is adjusting and there's all this stuff going on with your system, you know. So I think that's an important thing to include in your challenge groups of what they might experience, because you don't want them to be freaked out. Different things you can share in your group. Recipes for shakes, obviously, recipes for treats, information about the ingredients, facts, research, any cool things, videos. You can do like a Tasty Tuesday, a Wow Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Fact Friday, Shakeology Saturday, things like that. I have an ongoing group, an ongoing challenge group for all my past boot camp people. I put them all in one group afterwards. And that's something I did for a long time, was a Wow Wednesday. And I would give them an ingredient. I'd say, okay, today we're going to talk about moringa. You all go research it, find 5 things that make you go, wow, this is so cool, and then come post in the group. And I would do that every Wednesday. Okay, it's Wow Wednesday. Let's all go find really things that make us say wow. And it was about an ingredient in Shakeology. And so you could do things like that in your groups to ensure you're talking about Shakeology a lot, often. Shakeology blog and the YouTube channel have tons of really fun recipes. So I post these. I literally post about Shakeology 5 times a week in my group. And that might seem like overkill, but it works. That last report that came out, I think I had like 55 people on Shakeology Home Direct. Like, that's over $1,500 a month. And so obviously it might seem like overkill, but it is working to help people stay on it. And so I post these little videos, like Tony Horton's hilarious. So his videos, just little treats. I post different recipes. These are all from the blog of just showing different ways to use Shakeology besides just in your shake, doing bowls, balls, ice cream, whatever. I also like to post the videos. These are two, I always share is the Superfood Hunter one. And then the Tony Horton one, I just love those. And then I like Beachbody has created amazing videos for us. And so I think those are things that we can be and should be sharing with our people. Okay, something else I want to mention is we log our Shakeology every single day. This is an amazing opportunity for us to share about Shakeology instead of just logging, I had chocolate today, log. Why don't we take the opportunity to share about Shakeology? I do this not every single time I log my shake, but this is when I log my Shakeology. I say what I had, and then cool food spotlight of the day, lithium berries, aka goji berries, the cool food benefits. Wowzer, blah, blah, blah. So hooray that Shakeology gets that goodness into me, cool, right? And the thing is, when you do this, you can save it in the notes section on your phone, and then your next group, you just copy, paste, log your shake, and you're including some value with it, and you're not just logging a shake, but you can educate at the same time that you're logging your shake, because it's something we're doing every day anyways, okay? So this was just yesterday. I was at my son's preschool volunteering, and anyway, so this one's all weird, but this one I'm talking about chaga mushroom. They just added it to Shakeology recently. So I do, like I said, I do this about every other day. So one day I'll talk about chaga mushroom, for example, and then the next day I'll just log what kind I drank, and then the next day I'll talk about phytonutrients, and the next day I'll just do normal, and then the next day I'll talk about moringa or whatever. And so I don't do this, like I said, every day, but I do throw those in at least 3 to 4 times a week. And my people, they love it. They always comment like, oh my gosh, I had no idea like chaga mushroom even existed. Like that is so cool. That like, it's just a cool food. I didn't even know I was getting it. And so anyway, so that's another one, logging my Shakeology cool food spotlight. A lot of times that's what I'll just do. Cool food spotlight, acerola. Sometimes I'll have them, like I said, I'll have them look up the stuff and come back and comment. But a lot of times I just kind of do simple things to throw out there. And we're getting it daily in our Shakeology, cool, right? And so you should try to get them excited about like nutrition's cool and food is cool and it's powerful and look what we're getting every day. This is a post I always put in my groups because my people love it. And it's talking about beauty and how food, we all want to be prettier and look younger, and good nutrition plays into that. And so I talk about all these different foods and how they're in Shakeology, and, just goji berries and ginkgo and cacao, folic acid, vitamin C, vitamin K, wheatgrass, and just kind of what they do for you. And my people, like, they always think this is like the fun. They love this post. They think it's so fun. They're like, oh my gosh, I never want to stop drinking Shakeology. I want to look young forever. So things like that, like know your audience. Like I know my audience, like we're all like moms getting older and we don't want to age. And so things like this appeal to us where it's like this can help me to look younger, feel younger. And this is the things breaking them down that the teacher and me. Okay. So that's kind of what I wanted to say with sharing in your group. I think there's a lot of opportunity. I know I used to just share like once a week, but I've had a lot more success when, like I said, when I'm logging my Shakeology, when I share about it, when I'm sharing constant recipes, I'm getting excited about it, and my people get excited about it, and they stay on it way longer than a month because they see the value in it. And so I think in our challenge groups, an amazing time to just share like crazy about it and getting people excited. Offer incentive. So in my boot camps, I offer a t-shirt. I do the Inside Out boot camp. So I offer an incentive. In order to earn the t-shirt, you have to log 20 shakes and you have to log 20 workouts. And so my people, like, they love that. And so they almost every single person will be consistent with their Shakeology. And when you can get people drinking that every day, they're going to notice the difference, and they're going to sell themselves on it, obviously. They're going to see how it's making them feel so good. So if we can just get them to drink it every day in a row for 20 days or 30 days, then they're going to notice the difference themselves. So offer some sort of incentive. Logging this many Shakeology, you're going to get this, or, whatever. So I do 20 shakes and 20 workouts, and that works. Okay, what about when the challenge group is over? It doesn't end yet. So when the challenge group is over, what I have them do is I send out every single person a survey about the boot camp. And one of the questions I include is, what role do you feel Shakeology played during the boot camp? So look at 50 responses, look at all these testimonials I now have that I can share with my people. I can share on my social media. I can share personal messages, like of what other people are saying, not me. Helped curb cravings. It tasted delicious. I love, whatever. Shakeology is the best. I love how it makes me feel more energetic. I have less cravings, and recovering from workouts is easier. Like that. The thing too is, in order for them to get their t-shirts, they have to fill out the survey, because I ask them their shirt size in the survey. And so that's how I get them to fill out the survey. It's the only way they're going to get their shirt is if they fill out the survey. And so I include this question, and it gives me a lot of material that I can use, and sharing testimonials. And also, if you have a website, these are great things to put up on your website also, these testimonials from your clients. Okay, also once the group is over, I do an ongoing group, and I do this on the Tracker app. So it's every month I kind of start a new challenge, a new 30 days with my ongoing group. So in this group, I have like 100 people in there, and they obviously don't all participate. But I still give them daily action items every single day. I say, here's your daily action items for the day. 1, log your workout on Shakeology. I say it every single day, 365 days. I'm telling them, log your workout, log your Shakeology. And then I also, in this ongoing group, I offer a prize every single month. So, this is my October. We're doing October is self-care, self-love. So these are all the people who graduated from my Inside Out bootcamp. I put them in this, we call it the Inside Out tribe. And they're all my graduates. And so every month, like this one, we're doing self-love, self-care. The prize is going along with the theme. It's makeup. And in the survey, I actually ask them what things would appeal to them for prizes. So I ask them, gift cards or makeup, beauty, whatever. And so I kind of pick my prizes depending on what all the people said in the survey. And so in order to qualify for the prize, you must log a minimum of 20 workouts, a minimum of 20 shakes, participate. And so they don't even qualify for the prize if they don't log their workouts and their shakes. And every single person who logs their workouts and shakes gets a prize. And so I do one person, put them all in a hat, one person gets the big prize. Unless I have like a ton of people, like 30 people, then they don't all get a prize. But if I do send them all a prize, it's something simple like a headband. Or you guys can get on, like this month, what I'm going to do, because it's a self-love one, get those cheap on Amazon, like the face masks from China. They're like the paper ones. They're like $1 each. And so I'm just going to send them each one of those for every single person who logs. And so it just keeps people logging their shakes every single month. And so I've had people who've been doing it since January, and they still keep doing it, because I think a big part of it is because of the prizes, the incentive, and the daily still being together every single day, even after the group is over. So that's kind of all I got. I don't know if that was helpful, but hopefully that was kind of gave you some ideas of what you can do different on your social media, your challenge groups. And if you guys have any questions, then please ask. My kids just got home, so it might get loud and crazy for a second. But
Mom. Kari, that was incredible. I know that there were some comments saying that was amazing. So many great ideas. I think everybody wants to join your challenge group now. But the fact that you shared what is actually working for you in specific posts, both on your page and then in your challenge groups, is really, really helpful. And so thank you for sharing that. Do any of you guys have a question?
I just have a quick one about all the content. Like, your posts are amazing, but I don't know all that information. I know the Shakeology site has some of it, but in terms of like, you write it up and you like, I would imagine that would take me like an hour to put a post like that together.
No, it totally doesn't.
Is there a way to do it like quicker?
I really like Dr. Ack's website. He talks a lot about superfoods. And so I'll go to his, and his articles are really long. So I'll just go through and pick the highlights and summarize them type thing. And honestly, I usually do this when I'm at the park with my kids. That's my time when I'm watching them. I'll get on and I'll just create a bunch of quick posts, copy and paste them into my notes. And so, I mean, you can go as thorough or as not as you want. Like, you could see some of those posts I just did, like acerola, whatever, like, and it was really short. It was like, it helps with anti-aging, blah, 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 blah. You know, so I think even like Pinterest, just making sure it's a reliable source, obviously. Like, so I don't know. I like Dr. Axe. I go to his site a lot for just like the ones about the specific foods. He talks about those a lot.
Cool.
So,
okay, thanks.
Yeah. No, obviously make sure you're putting them in your own words because you don't want to be plagiarizing other people. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah. Thanks.
Anyone else?
Kari, I loved that so much. I just wanted to let you know. That was so amazing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad. You never know. It's like people might already be doing this. I don't know. I'll just share anyways.
Yeah, I'm really motivated to share more. Like now that I see, like seeing the posts and then you showing like the results of that and like what they look like and stuff, it kind of motivates me more because I don't know, ironically, even though I do have all of that knowledge and can just like whip those up, I don't tend to share as much as I could because I don't know, I feel like the ingredient list is like self-explanatory. So I'm terrible at it, but I'm like really motivated now to hear that like people like, you know, that people like that. So that motivates me to share.
Totally. More. And I think it's funny because we look at it sometimes and we're like, holy crap, look at all these ingredients. This is amazing. But so many people like don't. They just don't. Like they kind of just trust what we have to say. And so I think sometimes when we break it down, like it's just cool, like, because then they start feeling excited, like, and they start feeling smarter and more confident. And so I think it's, I don't know, just gives them, they understand why they're drinking it and not just, well, my coach said it and I trust her, so I'm going to drink it this month. But then they become motivated to drink it because they're like, they see all the awesomeness in it, you know? And it is, like, if you just look at it, it's kind of overwhelming. I think breaking it down into one, you know, a post here and there, like, it's, I don't know. I think it's, I like it, so that's why I do it. But
yeah, and I don't know about all the coaches that are on here. We know a lot of this stuff, but we were fascinated with watching you talk about the things we already know, but you did it in a way that was so relatable. And so just seeing that we were all intrigued by the content that you're sharing, it, of course, the people that we're trying to teach or help are going to be intrigued by that and grasp onto it too. And it'll affirm to them that they made a good investment with you. And it'll affirm to them that they're making a good investment every month. And also it's educating them so they can then in turn confidently share it with other people as they go. And so it helps to just breed that culture of people that we all are just excited about this and teaching it along the way and keep that ball rolling. So it's really fun because I think that that's one of the things I've been worried about too, is like, I'm going to just bore people if I keep talking about this shake. But it is truly, truly one of the things that can benefit your health that everybody can do every single day, even if they skip a workout, even if they didn't have time to eat clean the rest of the day, they can do their shake. That's the one thing that they can do. So it was awesome. Thank you so much. Anybody have any questions?
I thought that was so good too. And I think it obviously was evident to all of us how passionate you are about it and your belief in it. And if that's how we're posting and how we're talking to our people, they want to know what we're doing, right? Like, I don't know about you, but if I'm trying to hit a goal and I'm following this person towards that goal, I just want to know what they're doing. Like, and if you can confidently tell me that this is what you do and it helps you get there, then I actually haven't read those 70 ingredients on the back of the bag. So it's so funny to hear Chanel say that because I figure they're right there. Right? And I'm like, I don't know that I've ever even read them all. Like, I just haven't. So I look at the picture ones. But that's how my brain works. But, you know, Emma said to me once, like, you should try Shakeology. It's great. And I'm like, I want to be like Emma, so I'm going to drink Shakeology. So there are people that just want to be a part of what you're excited. If they follow you for a reason. They know, like, trust you. And if you passionately, confidently share that, which I think is exactly what Kari has shown us tonight, then it becomes a very easy thing to pass along.
Right. And I think that's important you bring that up, Bria. Like, I don't know if you guys listened to the National Wake Up Call a few months back from Jatana Jackson, and she talked about Instagram stories. And so probably like most of us, I went and followed her Instagram stories. And something she does every day is like a Shakeology dance. And she like dances and makes her Shakeology. And like, to me, like that does not appeal at all. Personally, to me, like, that's just me. Like, to me, I'm like, but that appeals to her people, and she shows it every day. And so I think you're right. I think we need to know our audience and our people, and they're going to relate to us, you know, like, oh, this girl's dancing that and drinking that, and I want to be like her, so I'm going to dance and drink that. You know what I mean? So I think it's just, like I said earlier, just being yourself and being you, and not trying to, like, she's like me, not trying to be, oh, well, this is what she's doing, so I'm going to do that. But just being confident in, like, yeah, I don't know those ingredients, but I do know, you know, this part about it makes me excited or whatever, and sharing what we do feel excited and passionate about. So, okay, anyways, all right. Well, did anyone else have questions, or is that a wrap?
Kari, can you share as much as possible with us from your presentation, like in the group?
Yeah, I'll share the, I'll just share I could share the, whatever it's called, the PowerPoint. Would that be helpful?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Can I ask for some feedback before we close on Shakeology for the future calls that we're doing? I am working, and my sister, who's a holistic nutritionist, was supposed to be on tonight originally, so it was great that Kari took the spot. And she's done a team call on Shakeology for, like, my section of the team. So if anyone who's not in Success Fit wants that call, I'm happy to send the recording. It was really great as well. It just is a different perspective as well, just a different voice, right? But her husband, my brother-in-law, he's a naturopath, and he's sort of a male voice. And I'm wondering if it would be valuable, like, for your husbands to hear a man talk about Shakeology and the value of Shakeology, if that might be a little bit more valuable just to hear him speak on it as well. He's Australian, so he's got an accent. But it's totally understandable. You think that would be good? He's funny.
That's going to be a resounding yes.
Okay. Okay. I haven't told him yet, but I'm just going to pull the sister-in-law shoot on that one and be like, you got to do it. So, okay. Awesome. Thank you. And sorry, I didn't mean to take over the call there, but Kari, that was awesome. So thank you. Emma, I'll let you close this out.
You're fantastic. So we'll just leave it on that. I'm excited to talk with you all next week, and just watch for our group pages to see when the event will be up. We're going to try to have some consistency going forward, but we had to make some special arrangements because of scheduling and things. And so thanks for being on. And we love that you got on live. In our Fierce Fit group, I'm going to post some questions for some prizes, because we're going to do that again. I know, it's so fun when I do it. So you can head on over to there, and I'll ask a couple of questions. Talk to you later.